Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Philip Rivers is back with the Colts at the age of 44. Tony, what were you doing when you were 44?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, writing sports. I was following Seabiscuit.
You okay?
Yeah.
No one in our
It's in the
audience
30s.
under 80
They don't know.
knows who Seabiscuit was.
It was a
Nobody.
great horse in the 1930s.
It was a movie.
It was a great horse.
Great movie about Seabiscuit.
By the way, in truth,
Yeah.
like when I was 44, this show hadn't even started yet. You know,
No.
I got to this show very old, as I'm ancient now. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Colts sign Philip Rivers, Kyle Schwarber stays, and Edwin Diaz goes, and Jeff Saturday joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with last night's Monday Night Football game, a sloppy affair in which the Chargers outlasted the Eagles in overtime 22-19 when they intercepted Jalen Hurts near the end zone. Hurts had a particularly discouraging game with 5 turnovers, including 2 on one bizarre play. The Eagles have now lost 3 in a row, and the Chargers have won 5 out of 6. Wilbon, what does this result say about each team?
I'm going to start with the Chargers first, Tony. The Chargers are ready to challenge. I don't know how seriously to contend, but the AFC, there's no Kansas City up there being Godzilla sitting on the top of something. They don't have that. So I think they're maybe even ready to contend. And let me just say this about Justin Herbert. To have surgery in the same week and come out there and run it 9, 10 times and put yourself in harm's way and have his teammates in love with him at the end of that game said all good things to me about the Chargers. Now, the Eagles, they can still defend. They can sack you 7 times. They can have 7 tackles for losses. They can hit. They can cover. But offensively, they're so confused like they've been over the last few weeks. Tony, I don't want to hear from A.J. Brown, who drops a couple, who gets it off his fingertips and can't reel it in. Throw it to me some more. No, catch the damn ball when it's thrown to you. We don't need to go to you 13 times. But the Eagles, Tony, they still control their division. They still do.
That's right. Yeah, so that's the dichotomy with the Eagles. The Eagles are in apparent trouble. Their offense has vanished. In the last 5 games, they have fewer touchdowns scored than every team in the league other than the Raiders. They only have 8 touchdowns in the last 5 games. They only had 1 last night. They seem to be stuck in neutral. But they're in first place in the division. And the team closest to them, the Cowboys, is a team that neither you nor I would have complete faith in.
That's right.
So they're in better shape than Kansas City, for example. They're in better shape. I mean, if I wanted to calm the water, I would point out that Matthew Stafford a couple of weeks ago had 2 interceptions and a lost fumble in a game that the Rams lost to Carolina, and then came back with 3 touchdown passes and no picks as they destroyed Arizona. Jalen Hurts could do that, but as you know, with your friends who are Eagles fans, and I know as my friends who are Eagles fans, they have panicked, and they are ready to throw Hurts off the train. They're ready to do that. I am somewhat confused by the Chargers. All praise to their quarterback, who plays hurt and begins to look like Josh Allen out there. But Mike, their 9-3 or 9-4 record is built against only 1 good win, really, against Denver. And here's what they've got coming up: at Kansas City, at Dallas, home Houston, at Denver.
That's
tough.
That's hard.
That's a tough close.
They're going to get to show us.
That's a tough close.
Yeah, they're going to get. Tony, we're going to know going into the playoffs whether they're ready or not, based on, I think, in large part, the last 4 and last 5 games of the regular season.
Yeah.
Let's move to this Colts signing of Philip Rivers to the practice squad today. Gives the team the option of promoting him to the real roster for Sunday's game at Seattle. The 44-year-old grandfather last played in the league in 2020, leading the Colts to an 11-5 record. They were good. With Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson now out and rookie Riley Leonard, Notre Dame, questionable with that knee injury, Tony, is signing Rivers inspired or desperate?
If those are my choices right now, I would say desperate, because he's 44 years old, because he last played in the NFL 1,800 days ago, right? That's his last snap 1,800 days ago. There was 2020. He was 39 years old then, which was old then, but he had a really good year, as you point out. Colts made the playoffs, and they were 11-5. If he can revive these Colts, then it would be inspired. But if we could, let's look at the really good quarterbacks in NFL history who are 44, but let's leave Tom Brady out because everybody knows about Tom Brady. So here is the list. There is no list.
That's right.
There is no list, right? And as you said before, he's a grandfather. I think that's important. I understand what's going on here. Shane Steichen, the coach, knows him from the Chargers, where when Phillip Rivers played at the Chargers, Steichen had a series of offensive coaching jobs. He trusts them. They're good friends. I get that part, but, it feels a little desperate to me.
Nothing's as overrated in football as this notion that it's choreographed. What? There is mayhem. And at 44 years old, he is ill-equipped, Phillip Rivers, even though he's going to get a whole lot of Hall of Fame votes, legitimately, to deal with the mayhem going on around him. We know he understands the offense. That's not the final objective. It's great, Tony. I've listened many times to our dear friend Charles Barkley. And Charles talks about retiring because your body's aching and it's hurt and you're beat down after years and years of competitiveness. And you then take a couple of seasons off and you work out and you lose some weight and you heal up and you come back and you say, wow, I feel really good now. Until the first time somebody knocks you out and then you say, no, I can't do this. And it seems that Charles came to that realization and Phillip Rivers has not. He's going to come to it in Seattle. I just hope it's temporary and nothing more, if that, than the blue tent, not even that.
I'm going to tell you something. I feel bad for Daniel Jones because he was going to be comeback player of the year. And now he's hurt on, both legs are gone. And I feel badly for him. They haven't had a quarterback that they can trust really for any length of time since Andrew Luck. It's a while back. We've got some football questions for our great friend, ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday. We'll start with this. You know the Colts well. What do you make of them signing 44-year-old Phillip Rivers? Do you think he's their best option in these circumstances?
Ooh, desperate times, desperate measures. That's where we're at in Indy land. Listen, the most devastating thing of my weekend was watching Daniel Jones get hurt and fast forwarding to, it's December, fast forwarding to next October, thinking, who is our quarterback going to be? It just hurt my heart. So at the end of the day, they are reaching, right? They're grasping at straws. I think Riley Leonard will still be the guy if his knee can hold up. I think they're signing Phillip Rivers for an emergency. But listen, all bias. I'm a fan of the Colts, so I am pulling for Phillip if he starts or has to play. But let me just say this: that Seahawks defense is real, and you're 44, bro. Listen, get rid of the rock. Do not hold it. Don't double pump, and you ain't fast enough to get out of the pocket. Let that thing go, Phil. Protect yourself at all costs. It could get ugly.
We're going to go to my Bears for a second and review that crucial 4th and 1 with 27 seconds left against the Packers. And the Bears electing to throw the ball. Jeff, I was screaming at the television, run the ball every down there. I'm suspecting that knowing you a little bit, you would have run the ball, given what the Bears did on the previous 17-play drive. I'm suspecting you would have run it too.
Yeah, no, listen, offensive linemen, right? Like, we wear a defense out. We got them fatigued. We want this to happen. We want to go run the rock. So there is no doubt, as an offensive lineman, you want the game put on your back at that moment, the biggest moments of the game, and you think you can go get this yard. All that being said, though, the truth is, it's there. The play is there. He has a shot to do it, which goes from converting a first down to a touchdown. You can't have it both ways, right? Unfortunately, the play doesn't get executed to maximum, and there's a pick. But man, what a game! And again, man, this is why you can't have nice things, Mike, because you all fired up. You can't be happy with what they got going. And sometimes you got to go, no one expected us to be in that game, bro. I don't care what anybody said. They fought like crazy. They've turned the corner, man. I'm excited for this Bears in the future.
No, Jeff, this is a time I'm a little different. I was only in a bad mood for a few minutes. I got out of it. They played a hell of a game, toe-to-toe with Green Bay in Lambeau.
The Bengals star pass rusher will have surgery on his core and is likely to miss the rest of the season. Hendrickson has missed the last 5 games and has only played in all or parts of 7 this season, logging 4 sacks. That's a far cry from the 17.5 he made last season. The 31-year-old held out for a trade or a long-term deal during the preseason, ultimately agreeing to a 1-year extension worth $30 million that allows him to become a free agent after the season. But now you have to wonder what the market will be for him, right?
Yeah, you do, Tony. But remember, he also had 17.5 the season before that. So he had done that back-to-back. And this season, what a colossal disappointment. But for everything and almost everybody in Cincinnati, Hendrickson included.
Let's go to the big finish.
Let's
If we
do
could,
it.
Lionel Messi won his 2nd straight MLS MVP. You should apologize for all the times you've run him down.
No. The Heisman finalists, Fernando Mendoza of Indiana, Diego Pavia of Vandy, Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame, and Julian Sain of Ohio State. Does that make sense to you?
They all had wonderful years. Each one is worthy. I mean, I think Mendoza's probably the favorite, but each one is worthy. The Pelicans have lost 7 straight. They're 3-22,
they're
the Pelicans. What's going on?
We know what's going on. They're terrible. But Derek Queen, the rookie draft pick out of Maryland, if you passed on him and you know who you are, you're going to have to pack it up and go pretty soon. 4 LSU offensive assistants will be allowed to join coordinator Charlie Weiss Jr. back at Ole Miss for the playoff. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are the same now as they were a week ago, that Lane Kiffin should be allowed to coach that team. He should. Last one, Heat Magic and Knicks Raptors are on tonight. Which is the more intriguing game?
I think Knicks Raptors NBA Cup quarterfinals. You can't wait to jump into that, right? You can get your tickets.
The NBA Cup. The only thing that's good about that is they changed the color of the court, but the rest of it, who cares? We're out of time. Try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. Aren't you proud of me for not taking a shot at arrogant Notre Dame in this show?
PTI.